everyone. Today I am working on some cards for my Shaviti, and so I'm 32 weeks pregnant, and the Shaviti is meant to be something that or you use it not necessarily for birth, but in the book that I'm reading they use it for birth. A Shaviti is usually a picture that helps you focus on God while you're meditating. So while Eastern meditation is often about clearing your mind and not thinking about anything, biblical meditation is often about focusing your mind on particular aspects of God. So in the book that I'm reading, they have an example of one, and I am going to pretty much copy that example. It has a menorah. In the example it has a etrog, but I'm going to use a pomegranate because I have more of a connection with that fruit, and then lots of psalms and things like that. And that's going to be my main piece that I'm going to have on the wall in my main birth space. Then I'm also going to have a few other pieces around, which are larger pieces of different artworks that I've done. Hopefully you can see this okay. It's like a gold leaf. When I was doing part of my meditations about this upcoming birth and praying about it and whatnot, I got this word ahava. This is ahava. And so I'm focusing a lot of my art for the birth, birth and pregnancy around that. So I've made this, which I'll display. Might make it better. Here's a pomegranate that I drew. Could include that even in this artwork. So I also did this piece. So I plan to do a few art journaling style things with mixed media and whatnot. I guess this is mixed media, right? It's painting and gluing on things. So I plan to do those things, but what I'm going to work on today is actually all these little things which are going to be birth affirmations. Now I'm not quite up to that part in the book that I'm reading, but I had an idea of the type of birth affirmations that I would like to do anyway. I have a document which I wrote up a long time ago when my first son was a newborn baby, and it goes through all the verses from the Old and New Testament which talk about who you are, who God says you are. And so I've got them all written down with the appropriate verse that talks about it so I don't forget. And I'm going to include lots of these as my birth affirmations because they're really beautiful. What I've done is reworded them so that they are in first person, because this one I wrote like Lior is chosen, Lior is God's servant, Lior is forgiven, Lior is Yahweh's friend, this sort of thing. So these I want to make as more personal, and then I've also formatted it a bit differently so that I can cut them out. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be working on these in 4x6 size, and the reason that I'm going to do that is because I want to be able to sort of create one for all of these, like one each for all of them, and then maybe make them into a little book that I can maybe read through to the kids and stuff like that. So that's the plan with it. That's why I'm doing it. I just thought the 4x6 size was going to be a really easy way to make it into a mini book. I don't have any plans for any of the cards except for this one that says I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and this is one of my favorite photos I have of my second son just after he was born, and I love it because he's so fresh and plump. He's a pretty big baby, and I know that he's still there connected to me with his little umbilical cord. I just love it how this is without it, I mean, I have more newer photos of him. I have photos of him just coming out, but for something that I can just put in a book and happy for anyone to look through, I think this is a really great photo. It shows him really new, and I love that this is, I'm almost getting teary, that this is like the essence of what I'm talking about. I really am getting teary. Oh my gosh. Not only is this baby, you know, him, his brother, this new baby, not only are they inside of me fearfully and wonderfully made by God, but also I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God. And I think that that is a really beautiful thing to focus on during childbirth. You know, to think that your body is made perfectly. So, let me get started on making this card. This is my first one. Okay, so I am getting started on the card, and I'm basically just securing it with staples because I know that's how I want to do it, and just to make sure it gets to the right size, and trimming it down. I want to leave this card pretty simple, but see how the words are sort of toward the top. I feel like I need to add just a little bit more. The words fit like pretty well over his body, which is nice, but in my head when I'd sort of written it out, I'd hoped that it would be more in the very center, but that's fine, it works. So I'm just gluing these down. That seems to be a fairly efficient way to do it, and then trimming them off. And that's probably all I'm going to do for that one. I'm just going to look through now and choose the next one that I want to work on. And so I purposely have, when I printed out this text, did it in a font and a size so that I could just stick that on. I didn't have to be hand journaling it or using up all of my thickers and stuff like that. So I like that style at the moment, the words sort of cut out and stuck on, and it's very popular even if you think of all the little stickers that you can get with different words on it. It's all similar stuff. So basically just choosing a few embellishments. I'm at the sort of the end of this packet of embellishments. I try to sort of use up the ones that are left, but obviously I've really used up all the ones I really like, and I just can't get into those frames. I think these would be like a good thing to try the frames on, but it's not going to work for me. I'm actually just putting those in my little stash of things to do like a giveaway with or whatever. I know people use them really effectively, but I just struggle to use them. So again, I'm just using my little glue. It's just super easy for the small bits, and once you've got it out, then it's easy to just keep using it, particularly when you're not using photos or the cardboard and stuff that's been going to stick down quite heavily. It works well. I really got that glue mostly to do wood veneer because I needed something that was strong enough to hold the wood veneer, but yeah, like I didn't want to be putting double-sided tape on the back of tiny little wood veneer. So that's really why I got that glue, and it works really well for me. Sorry you can't see anything I'm doing now. That was a bit silly. Oh yeah, okay, so I decided I need to write down on the little card, just somewhere in the corner or whatever, what the Bible verse is that it comes from. And so I've written that down just with a pen. Didn't use a particularly nice pen, which is sort of regretful, but that's okay. I can keep going. This one, it says, I am united with Yeshua HaMashiach, which is Jesus Christ. And so I think I would like to take out the united and make that in thickers. And I look at those purple ones because I think the purple would look really nice with the teal.
but I just can't go past these gold ones. I was sort of hesitant to use them because they're brand new, and a lot of my thickers I buy like in bulk, and so they're like much cheaper, but these ones I had to like, I mean, it cost me like $10 or $12 for this sheet of thickers. My goodness, they're so expensive. So I was like, maybe I don't want to use them straight away. It's terrible, like how we think like that. I mean, I should just use them, right? Like that's what they're there for. So anyway, obviously I do just use them, and I'm really happy because the gold looks really nice on it, and that's all I do to that card. And this one, I really want to use this, what do you call it, like star pattern on the vellum. It's quite an older collection. It's from a Studio Calico Atlantic collection, and I cut it just a bit smaller. I have tons and tons and tons of that paper. Again, another thing that I had bought in bulk when I sold scrapbooking supplies. So yeah, I'm happy to use it up. I'm just looking at some of my Project Life cards to see if any of them will fit in, or have like a particular message, but I decided I like those cards. Maybe I can use them on something else, but really I need the focus to be on the actual text of the verse, not on something else. So for this I have to like completely make up the most of the letters. I'm going to try to make an E at some point. This one I'm trying to make a T out of a J and a little extra bit. I think that this might work to use the question mark to make the middle of the E, but in the end I'm just going to use a 0 and turn it in. It doesn't look perfect, but it does the job. I mean, you can tell with this that it's not the right leather. Some of them you can make them look quite good, but yeah, it'll do. So for this I have this idea of like writing it freehand and cutting it out, and so I start to do that, and then I actually decide I don't want to do that. I did it like sort of too small, and it's going to be way too much effort to cut it out. I really wish that I had like big letter stamps, which I realized afterward I do have, like not quite big enough as what I want, but I do have pretty big letter stamps, so that was a bit silly. I could have used those and stamped them on, but in the end I just use these cool Amy Tangerine. They're sort of transparent leather stickers, and they're really nice, and yeah, I love them. I don't know why I used up E's. My E's go so quickly because of, you know, writing week in Project Life. But I use them for this free word and then just draw around them. And then, yeah, I do think it needs an exclamation mark because it's kind of a special thing. And then I just use a bit more, add a bit of, or staple it on, and then I use these circles again. So I have all these circles cut out because one of the pieces of art I worked on for my Shaviti piece, I used these, and I just cut, it's just tissue paper, and I just cut it out with a hole punch, which was a bit difficult for some of the things, but funnily enough, some colours cut really easily and some colours didn't. I don't know if I was doing something different, but I'm adding those in and just stapling them on because that's way easier, and the tissue paper looks a bit funny with the glue. And yeah, just writing the verse on, and I've got them all done. So that's it. Got some other videos if you want to check them out, and I'll share some more soon.